teammate now in the Hall of Fame, and just chop it up with him, because we've chopped it up before, but I just like to continue the conversation. And then I wouldn't mind if you just came over, man, and chimed in a little bit, man, and hung out with us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Charles, talk to me about this. Is that I'm always amazed that there's guys like yourself that we all knew were a lot to get into the Hall of Fame. But still, when you find out, when David Baker shows up and tells you you're getting into the Hall of Fame, the emotions,
man, because I've always told myself, man, if that moment comes, you know what, I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna keep it cool. I don't want to be I want to be on television. You know how we are as athletes and NFL players, man. We try to keep it cool and macho all the time. And I told myself, man, hey, don't cry. So David Baker walks up. I see his face coming up my walkway in the backyard, and I initially almost teared up, but I held it together. So I said, you know what, I'm good. And then it's like the more we started talking, man, it got overwhelmed, man. So you can tell yourself that you're going to be prepared for that moment, man. But when that moment hits you, all of the memories and the emotions that you've had throughout your entire career, man, they come crashing down all at once. And you know what? It breaks you down, man. And I couldn't hold it any longer, man. And the tears, fell down my face. And my kids, they had a little laugh about it because they'd never seen Daddy cry. But it is what it is, man. That moment is something, man, that's very special. Something, like I said, I'll never forget.
I think this is Mooch, we all got emotional too, and we saw you with your family after you took a peek, and there comes the big guy, David Baker. Next time I see you, Charles, we're gonna have a bottle of your wine, Intercept, okay, to celebrate this occasion. But I want to piggyback off of what Kurt said, because you broke down, and so did everybody. Everybody that was watching probably got emotional. Tell us exactly who you were thinking about and what you were thinking about that brought you to tears.
Man, first of all, again, turning around and seeing David, right? You know exactly what that moment means. And so after that moment, after that kind of like that initial shock, I just go back to thinking about, my mom, in early days growing up in Fremont, Ohio, and how hard my mom worked, to support, me, my brother, and my sister, to make sure that we had everything we wanted, everything that we needed. Worked her fingers to the bone, man, to make sure that we were provided for. And to me, that was really, what it was all about. And to have her, right there standing by my side, have my wife and my two kids, it was like it was generational, you know what I mean? So to have, my family right there in that moment, and to actually be there, when David came in that backyard, man, that's what I was thinking about, man. Like the football part of it, of course, I took care of that on the field. But in that moment, to have my mom, my wife, and my two boys, that was everything. That's what I thought about.
And Charles, it's also interesting when you do get into the with who the football gods see fit to have such an honor bestowed upon them at the same time as you. And lo and behold, who's in your class but the guy you were 1-2 with in the Heisman Trophy Award in 1997, then 1-4 in the 1998 draft class. And joining us right now is fellow class of 2021 Pro Football Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. Peyton, congratulations to you.
Thank you, Rich. I'm very honored to be going in with Charles. Charles and I have been through a lot together. This will be our third major banquet we've had to sit through together, from the Heisman ceremony to the draft, back when they only invited about 3 or 4 players. And but this is a great one to be at, in the Hall of Fame ceremony. It's a special time, and just listening to Charles' comments, I feel the same way. Just thinking about the people that have been a part of it, my family, teammates, coaches, really is a time to reflect and think about all the people that have been a big part of your football life.
Well, congrats, Peyton. Kurt here. I got a question that I want to address at you, and then I want Charles to answer as well, because I think one of the coolest things is I know you guys both have respect for other guys that played the game. Peyton, tell me what it was about Charles that made him so difficult to compete against. And then, Charles, I'd love to hear the same thing about Peyton.
Charles's versatility is one of the things that jumps out to me. I played against Charles for 18 years. I remember one game he was at corner the whole game. The other game he was inside in the slot. And another game he was at safety. Not many guys can do that, Kurt, as you know. There's a lot of guys that are just one-dimensional that can only play one position. You know, Charles could have played any position out there on the field. He was that smart. He was the quarterback of the defense, and to credit to him. So always a challenge. You know, you had to put the ball in the perfect spot. He really challenged you. If you threw it behind him, it was going to be intercepted and going the other way. So always brought out the best in our receivers, our passing game, playing against great corners like Charles Woodson.
Yeah, for me, Kurt, for me it was Peyton Manning. The way he studied the game, the way he understood what the defense was trying to do. It feels like when he came out there and he broke the huddle, he knew exactly where everyone was going to be, and then he based, what he was going to do as a quarterback based on what he saw. And it's like he saw everything on the field, And so, for me, him talking about me moving around, I felt like playing against Peyton, man. I needed to move around. I didn't want him to know where I was going to be, because if he had any little detail, any little hint about what you were going to do as a defense, he was going to pick you apart. And, I played against Peyton the last couple of years, man, and he picked us apart because he knew exactly what we were doing, where we were going to be at. And there were plays where, I thought that we were fooling them. And next thing you know, it was a touchdown. Just the way that he was able to dissect everything about the defense, man, and know exactly what you were doing, man. There's at the level that Peyton did it. And, I got a great joy. There's a couple of things about Peyton I really enjoy. One was that play fake he used to do on that stretch play. He got us a couple of times early, man, where he stuck that ball out, put it in the belly, and then brought it out, and it sucked you in. And you thought it was a run play, and all of a sudden he's got a post going down the field. And then all of the stuff he was saying at the line of scrimmage, it was a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, Peyton, what are you doing? Talking too much at the line of scrimmage. But man, that was who we were, and it made the game fun, man, and that's what I appreciated about him. Him on television and watching the way he kind of orchestrated what they did on offense, man, it was special, man. I'm so honored to go in with him, man. Peyton, we've been joined at the hip, man. Hashtag 18 years, baby.
That's right. Hey, Rich, the only thing I kind of regret is, Bruce Smith, it still bothers him today that he never sacked me. And Charles, we had great battles against him, but for 17 years, he made a lot of plays, but he just never intercepted me. I really should have retired 1 year early, because in that 18th year, he got me twice in the same game, and it kind of checked off a box for him. I'm like, no, I should have gotten out while I was ahead. So that's my only regret.
I love it. I was in my first full year as being a SportsCenter anchor in 1997, so I had no shot at covering the Heisman Trophy Award ceremony. But if I was there and I slipped up to both of you guys and whispered in your ear that you were going to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame together one day, what would you have said that day?
For me, it's not something that you think about. That was an exciting